And you are welcome to another episode of your favorite podcast, Loose Talk.
Yeah, this is the lead researcher speaking.
How's everybody doing? My name is Osagi Alonga.
My name is Ayomide Tayo.
Fantastic. And we have Steve Dede in the building as well.
Are you ready to record this podcast, Osagi?
Ayo, what's good?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm alright. Chilling.
Am I ready to record this podcast? I'm ready. Your video is hanging, but me, I'm ready.
I don't know why you're using Steve. You're in a third world country. Switch off your video. Don't be trying to prove one kind level in a day. Thank you.
I know, Alan.
Now it's better.
Boss. No vex.
Am I ready to record this podcast? Yes, I am. What's the problem?
I said
You
that
lose
the
your
intro was
using-
just so mellow. Yeah, that's why I asked.
Do you want
There's no
to do
energy.
the
There's no
intro?
energy in that intro.
Do you want to do the intro?
No. It's your job. You should be able to you should do your job well. That's just all I'm saying. Like, if you
Yeah,
want to
but
give
I
us an
don't think
intro, give us an
the intro
intro.
was mellow. Ayo, was the intro mellow?
It was cool,
Yeah, I
man. It
think
was
it was
cool. It was
mellow.
alright.
Thank you. I just said it was cool.
New
Mhm.
dispensation. We
Nice
don't
one.
tweet like the former president and his people. We tweet like the new president. Mellow
Shout out,
communication.
shout out to my
No,
boy
Alan.
Otega.
Yeah.
Shout out to Otega.
Oh,
Shout
Alan.
out to him. Great guy. All right, man. We have a lot to talk about on this episode. So many things to talk about, and we're recording a day late.
I'm very sorry.
So you're getting,
Apologies to everybody.
yeah,
That was my
okay.
bad.
As usual.
Yeah, right.
Actually, I think everybody has delayed the release of this podcast. I think I've delayed it
Yes.
before.
Everybody has, yes.
Yeah. So it's a shared shared blame, so to say. Um, I wanted to start off this podcast. I wanted to go into this hip hop thing that is going on Twitter, but it's really not my business.
It's your
And I'll tell you why.
business, so because you're owing
No,
me
wait,
something.
How's
It's your
how's it
hold
own.
not
on,
how's it not your business, Osagi?
hold on. Ayo,
Sorry.
don't worry. Like I said, I reshared the document with you. I've updated it, and I'm already working on it. Don't worry, we're going to get it done.
Okay, cool.
This kind of conversations, because in the last few weeks, there has been pockets of hip hop conversations about rankings and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry. Well, we're actually working on it, and we're going to do it very well. We're not going to
Okay.
rush it. It's not an article,
All right.
so we'll do it well. So I shared something with you. I even added
Yeah, I
another
saw it.
criteria. And all that. Then I moved the pages around. So work is going on. We'll do it very well, very well. We should take our time, but there should be steady progress. So
Cool.
inshallah, you know, God will see us through to finish the project and put it out. But yeah, just seeing a lot of hip hop. So here's the thing: you can't have nuanced conversations on Twitter.
It's impossible now. It doesn't allow
That's
for it.
why that is why I do not add to the conversation. It's not like I don't want to add to the conversation. I've had offline conversations today about this topic, right? But to add to the conversation on Twitter is very complex because the platform, as I've said on this podcast already, the platform does not allow for complex, contextualized, and nuanced conversations. It is too black and white, thinking in absolutes. Oh, this person is good, so this person is bad. Oh, this person is better than this person, then it's better than him in all ramifications. And therein lies the problem.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you go on Twitter and start engaging and explaining to people? The second problem we're having is that the knowledge base is not spread or shared, so to say, equally amongst everybody.
Yeah, true that.
So you end up arguing with somebody in this hip hop conversation now. You end up arguing with someone who actively started listening to hip hop in 2011.
Hmm.
How are you going to have a greatest let's say you want to do top 10, right? A
Yeah.
top 10 greatest hip hop artists.
It's
If the
limited now because your
people
knowledge is
that you're
limited.
talking to started listening to Nigerian hip hop in 2008 when Emma and Nito dropped, is just going to be biased. Before we started recording now, I joined one space on Twitter,
Mm-hmm.
and somebody was talking, and the guy was speaking passionately, but he was very uninformed. But he was speaking passionately, you could feel it, but very uninformed. And he started off by saying something about Ice Prince has one of the biggest hit singles, which is very true. And he said before then it
Yes.
was nine cry. Do you understand? So
Wow.
what is
Wow.
happening here is these people you want to start engaging with, they are just looking at the topic through their lens
Yeah.
and how they, what they consumed as consumers as they pass through that journey. So different user journeys, right? And how do you want to start engaging with these people with different user journeys?
It's
So
impossible now. It
only
can't work.
exactly there's only a few people you can sit down and have this conversation with who have experienced a lot of user journeys because they curated the moments, and most times they are the hip hop enthusiasts or hip hop journalists. So yourself, right? Thiago Ziem, uh, um, what do you call it? Jide Taiwo,
Yeah.
um,
Bio Missouri.
Ayomi Shore, you know, um, and see, there's like a few other people, Fazilion,
Mm-hmm.
John, and
James
I'm not talking
Silas.
about because James Sayers, I'm not talking about people who did surface shit. I'm talking
Mm.
about people who know straight butter. I'm
Yeah.
talking about people who know Rhymophobius.
Who know
I'm talking
Caliphate?
about people who know the caliphates.
Yeah.
If you can't tell me who these people are, right,
You
then you are
can't talk
just
about
dealing
hip hop.
can't talk about hip hop. You can talk about hip hop. Sorry, I don't
Yeah.
want to be the gatekeeper. You can talk about hip hop, but you are not going to talk about hip hop from a fully informed perspective. And I cannot engage with you. If you do not know who So Clever is or Soul Snatcher of the Rupton Web Series, if you did not hear Shock Therapy, Second First Impression,
Yeah.
then we can't have that conversation. If you did not hear the Minority Reports,
You can't have
if
it.
you we can't have that conversation because you are not fully informed because you are looking at the subsets. I'm looking at the whole pie. You're looking at a quarter of a pie or maybe half of a pie, and that's the problem with the whole conversation that's happening today on Twitter. Everybody's saying, "Oh, this one, oh, cultural impact, oh, this." I get the points of everybody and all that, but again, I guess it's for us to, bro. When we are done with this list, we want to put out,
Yeah.
right? And I believe this is why. I mean, people will still react, which is fine. I don't care. We've done our due diligence. We've put it out. We're also going to consult with a few other people before we put it out, right? But what two things will happen? The first thing is that they will see the list and they will not know some people on the list.
Definitely.
And you understand? Two things can happen with that as well. It is one, oh shit, I really don't know much about this thing. Let me shut up and read this thing and learn. That's the first thing that can happen. The second thing that happen is, and this is another set of people, is they'll totally ignore it, what they don't know.
Yeah.
Then they will go and, you know, laser focus on,
1 point or 2 points.
yes, and just say, oh, why is Jesse Jackson in the top 10? How do you mean? Again. And I'm sorry I'm going on this whole long rant, but it happens across board. And I think I'm most passionate when it happens, with things that I've covered in the past. People argue from a point of bias. It's crazy. I
Yeah.
guess we
The
all,
bias
I
shows
guess
a
all
lot.
my brother, they will pick one person and say, "Oh my God, no! What do you mean? This person?" I can bust this Jesse Jags myth that you guys have.
Yeah.
I don't want into the conversation of it. Do you understand? There are so
Mm-hmm.
many people that you just put up, herald and just put up in a space and say, "Oh my God, this person is the." No, 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 no. What's clearly happening is that you were hitting puberty when you started enjoying the guy's rap, and then the thing is
Yeah.
locked into your brain, and then you
You
think
locked
it's the
into your
best.
nostalgia. It's
Do you
trapped in your
understand?
nostalgia and you can't break out of it.
And only a few of us can actually step back and see what is happening and do a proper review. And that's why I respect you, Ayo, because you can actually step back and, you know, do a holistic breakdown because you understand, the history because
Yeah.
you were there. You can't tell me anything. You can't lecture me on hip hop in Nigeria if you don't know who HNIC is, Dr.
Yeah.
G.
HNIC. Dr. G.
The full
Club
history.
Rockaway.
Oh, you can say, okay, from 2013, this is the history of hip hop. Oh, that is fine. But you can't come and tell me about the history of hip hop in this country if you don't know, if you didn't listen to Sinzu Sauce Kid's first mixtape.
Yeah. Riba, riba.
Like you
Somebody
can't because
bobo.
do you understand? The thing scattered the internet.
Yeah.
And we're talking about 2006. People were going. You can't lecture me on hip hop if you were not privy to the AfricanHipHop.com forum, the website.
True. Yeah. NigerHipHop.net.
Do you understand? You, however, have the opportunity to research, to ask, so that you can learn, and then you can have a fully informed opinion when you want to break down things. A lot of people that mention the things that they try and back up, they don't even have a fully, they don't even have a, they haven't even consumed it in the totality for them to have that opinion.
Yeah.
They're just speaking from a, you know,
I
everybody say,
like this
oh,
guy. I like the album. So henceforth, he should be the greatest of all time.
oh my God. Do you understand? Someone was saying, oh, Nedosi was the first person that, brought Hausa rap. No,
No, no, no, no, no.
don't do that. And
Don't
shout
worry.
out to
We'll all break it down. Don't worry.
so all those things go happen when we just the walk and we go.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go too much into this hip hop thing because I just looked at it. I'm
No,
like,
no. Are you done? Are you done?
yeah, I think I'm done now.
Steve, we're talking
Are you
about
sure?
Duncan Mighty now, so you can chip in.
Okay. So I'm Asagi.
Hmm.
AQ or Netusi, who comes first in your top 10 list or top
What
20 or
is
whatever
the
it is?
what is the criteria? That's the first
All the
question.
criteria that we use in ranking artists in terms of legacy,
Steve wants to smoke.
in cultural impact, classic album, good
What is
albums,
legacy? What is
everything.
cultural impact?
Cultural impact. You want me to start defining cultural impact for you?
I mean, I and I have put down a a five
I just
points
asked you a
criteria.
simple question now. This thing is just a simple question. Just give me
It's
your
not
own
a simple
opinion and
question.
move on.
It's not a
It's not as
simple
if I'm going to
question.
That's the
argue with you. I'm not
thing.
going to argue with you.
I'm
We
not
might even
saying
agree on the same. We might even agree on the
my
same
brother,
point on the same thing.
brother,
Steve,
my
it's not
brother.
a simple
Listen,
question.
listen, listen, listen.
It's
Can you guys
nuanced.
listen to me?
Yes, I'm listening.
Listen, can you guys listen to me? I'm
Yes.
asking Osagi a simple question. Just give me an answer straight up. There's
In
no, just give
terms
me an
in
answer.
terms of discography,
No, 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 no. I'm not
cultural impact,
picking
I
apart.
have a
I'm not
criteria.
picking.
You can't. That's the thing. There has to be a
Listen, I'm not.
criteria,
Listen. I'm not picking apart any credit. I'm just saying in totality as an
and that
artist.
is the totality.
If
Is that you will break down the criteria, which equals to the totality, and I have to mention the
yes,
criteria
he
because once I
so
say
that
it
means
without mentioning
that
the
means
criteria on this podcast, people will
okay,
take their own criteria and start arguing. That's what's
okay,
going
okay,
on.
okay. So mention the criteria that you are going to use now. Cultural.
Is
Are you using cultural
is
impact or
is
longevity?
can I
Which one are you
mention it?
using?
Can I
Oh
mention it,
yeah,
please?
oh, yeah. Please do.
Discography,
One,
cultural impact,
two,
longevity,
three,
skill sets.
4.
Ayo, what's the fifth one?
Let me check that. Let me check that email because I'm not opened it actually. Sha. Hold up.
Hold up.
Steve just dey look for Wahala. That's his problem.
And that's fine. That's fine.
Discography, cultural impact, skill sets, longevity. So it's only four that is here.
Those are the four things, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, on those four things, right? AQ is ahead of Nitosi.
Okay.
And I can break it down. Do you want me to break it down?
All right.
Right. Let's go discography.
Okay.
Nitosi has three albums, four albums rather, right? Which is My P, Super C Season,
Yeah.
Day One, right? And
Mm-hmm.
what's the name of the last one? What's
I
the name
can't
of that
remember.
last? It's
I
called
can't remember.
Festival. It's the same year he dropped the one. He dropped it at the same time. It's called
Yeah.
Festival, right? Those are his four albums. AQ, and this is including mixtapes or whatever, right? This is basically his discography. Just four albums. He released one in 2008. He released the other in 2011. Then he released Day One and Festival in 2015.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Let me break down AQ's albums. I have to go to his Wikipedia page. Okay, AQ's albums, studio albums. I'll go to mixtapes. So studio albums: The Past, Present, and Future 2010, Son of John 2 2015, Rose 2016, Blessed Forever 2017, Crown with Luz Kane 2018, God's Engineering 2020, Gold in 2021, Behold the Lamb with MI, Luz Cannon, and Black Bones 2022, Ethos with Brimo 2022, God's Engineering 2 2023. Mixtapes and EPs: Listen and Understand 2005, Maga Must Pay Mixtape 2006, Love and Money 2008, Make Your Best Rapper Look Stupid 2012, Son of John 2014, Catch Your Sob 2016, The Definition 2016, The Live Report with MI Baga 2020. It's not even a conversation. Now, the impact of that Nito's first and second albums, we can discuss it in cultural impact. But when you talk about discography and the amount of work that has been put in, you can't compare it. Do you understand? You can't. The, now, if you and people who are listening to this, I want you to sincerely think about it because a lot of arguments that happen is that a lot of people don't listen to Nigerian hip hop. They listen to singles. A lot of people do not listen to Nigerian hip hop like albums. Sit down and listen to the album from start to finish. A lot of people don't. They listen to the A list guys. They don't listen to the B list and C list that much. And so, if you are listening to this now, you are trying to argue that oh no, NATO's discography is better than AQ's own. Have you listened to all these AQ's projects that I just mentioned? There are how many projects I just mentioned now? Albums are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 albums. The mixtapes are
Okay,
about like
so let me cut it short.
yeah.
I want you to point out an AQ album, right? That is better than My P and Super Citizen,
When you mean better now, do you mean quality wise or impact wise?
bro. Quality and what makes okay, then that means
Now
we're going back to the conversation of what makes an album better,
now
right?
you're not
In
going into the
totality. So
type of
we'll
album.
go back
Now,
and talk
album
about it in
is
totality. The way we've
go ahead,
okay, go
say.
on. No. The way
Okay.
we broke down the criteria we're using for the for the artist, right? In terms of
Mhm.
discography, cultural impact, skill set, and longevity.
Yeah.
You also have to give us just to make the conversation more detailed, right? What we're using to rank this album, right? You have to
Yes.
also list it out again.
Now for
So please do
album,
that.
lyricism, commercial impact, beats. These are the three things I used to rank an album. The lyricism or the lyrics, right? The commercial impact, and the third thing is what?
Okay,
The
I agree.
beats, the
So
production.
let's rank the album. Let's talk about the albums.
Now,
Yeah,
back to your question. Which one of which one was and you know why I like this argument is like we'll end up picking AQ. There are just too many bodies of work. So if
okay,
Netos's
okay,
You Know
yeah,
My P is a
yeah.
fucking amazing album, which it is. Do you understand? One of my best albums. After it has competed with AQ's best album, like arguably AQ's best album now is
Okay.
God's Engineering too, right? What album is now going to okay? You put Netos's You Know My P on the table. I put AQ's God's Engineering too, and I put Ethos. Both albums are better than
N-
like in
No,
totality.
no, no,
Both
no. They
albums edge
don't.
out You Know My P. Then I now put God's Engineering one, and I put Live Reports, and I that's how
Okay.
you
You're talking about
because
the
the
amount,
amount of
the
the body of
quantity of
work is
work.
too much.
Okay. I understand. Now
Can I
I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying.
Yes,
Yeah, I get.
quantity of work now are bit. You understand my point?
chip
Oh,
in
I don't.
something? Yeah, can
that's
I
what I've
chip
been
in
trying
something?
to
Go ahead.
Play
that's what I've
devil's
been trying to do
advocate.
here. Oh. It's not as if
Yeah.
anything
If and this is not
Osaki is
Netos's,
preaching to the choir actually. You don't understand?
yeah,
I just went on Twitter to play and said Tolani doesn't have the
yeah,
fear
yeah.
of God. It's just me just being
Yeah.
funny, right? You guys are preaching to the choir. I just want to like ask the question so that people who are listening will
Mhm.
So
understand what you are trying to do. Sure you guys.
yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
go
Yeah.
on.
So imagine a rapper has two classics. He dropped two classic albums and disappeared from the radar of the earth. And a rapper who has dropped 10 albums, not classics, but well received, who will get the higher rank in there? Bearing in mind that classics are like cultural impact and all that stuff, it has influenced the rap genre, influenced the mainstream
Yeah,
side of things.
yeah,
Over a rapper who has dropped like 10 good albums, but none can be considered great.
yeah. Okay, that's a very good
Yeah, it's a big thing.
argument, and I see it and I acknowledge it. Right? It's like Biggie, Life
Yeah,
After
it's the
Death.
biggie thing.
What they call it? Ready to Die and Life
Yeah,
After
yeah,
Death.
yeah, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Those two albums, you can. The argument is that those two albums versus Ti's all of Ti's discography. You
It will outweigh it. It will outweigh it, definitely.
understand? That's because Life After Death
Ready to
and what they
die.
call it is they are just fucking. See, those things are they are six
It's
over
a good
five.
album. It's not a great album.
Neto says You Know My P is not a classic album.
If it's a
It
great
is a
album, that means
great
it's a
album.
classic.
It's a
But
I don't look
bestseller.
at it. I don't look at
in
it
the
as a
yeah,
great
in
album. I
the
feel
rank,
it's a good. It's a good album.
it's actually a great album. It's a 4 over 5 album. But
Exactly, it's a good album.
no,
Okay,
no,
okay.
you can,
I think it
no,
was a good album that represented
I,
the times.
Hmm.
I actually think it's a great album, right?
Yeah.
But the album has flaws. There are records on the
Which
album
class
that
is
are
single? Kenny
fillers
Big
now.
Deal.
Facebook
Oh
is a
yeah.
filler.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Do
of
you
But
course.
understand?
it produced a classic single though.
And it has the
Thank
sleeper
you.
classic,
Yeah.
Do you
Ashao.
understand? Thank you.
Yeah, Kenny Beat
Of
is a
course,
classic any day, anytime.
it's a
No, you know my
classic.
P. Ashao is in my. You
It's a
want the
top ten
record?
rap single still now. No,
It's
that's in
on.
the second
It's on.
album.
You know my P. Yeah.
That's in.
No, no, sorry, sorry. No.
The one they
Oh,
call
I said
record is on the
Asha.
first
Ashao.
album.
Ashao. That's the one
I
that
thought
came
you
up. Yeah.
talked about. I thought you said the single with Asha. Sorry.
Oh no, that's second album. That's second album.
Netosi.
Yeah.
That's
But
Netosi's best
yes,
rap performance.
that's his
The
best
record with
album.
Asha. Best rap
You
That's
know
his
the
performance.
best
funny thing
album
about
actually,
this? Natosi's best album is
bro.
Day One.
Oh yeah, you
For
remember that?
best
You
project is
remember
Day
that
One.
that
And I
album
can
made us
bet
mad
you
at
Is the
pause
one.
one time. You
Netosi,
remember?
people who are shouting for
Everybody.
Netosi have not heard that project.
Yeah,
People that are
yeah, I
shouting for
remember.
Netosi,
Netosi is his best project.
bro, I went my see
Bro,
The
for
list
like
of
1 month. That was the only
yeah,
thing we were listening to.
I still saw Daniel when we were shooting the when we were shooting for Loose
yeah.
Talk, the comeback video.
Yeah.
Daniel was begging me for Day One. He said he can't find it anywhere. I said I got it. Got it on my phone. I still
Okay.
listen. He said what? I sent it to him. He lost his mind. So that's albums.
Mm.
I'll pick you over Neto because Neto, dropped two really good albums, and the one is three really good albums. But compared to what Q has dropped, if people listen to people are arguing this thing didn't listen to past, present, and future in 2010. Like the people who are arguing this thing started listening to Q 3 4 years ago. They don't know Q of 2008. Manga Must Pay mixtape. Do you understand? Love and Money, the mixtape. Some of these projects are not even available online, but you have to look very hard
Yeah.
to find it. Do you understand? He's
Making
a
never rap for
vet.
a long time.
Q
Like
is drop Wrap Up Nigeria in 2003. I was in SS3. He's been rapping that long. He's been rapping. Do you understand? He's been rapping that long. He's
So
been rapping for 20
Q
years.
is
I
like
remember
all
telling
those
him
like
about
E40s and them where
You
you can't
get
just fuck with their relevance over the decade. Like it's just there. And it's not your fault. It's not your fault if you don't know, like it's not his fault that you don't know him because you've not done your research. Or
that's
because
all.
you're not that interested in rap music.
You are a surface consumer.
I remember telling him uh,
Yeah.
I remember telling him about Son of John mixtape. I think 2013 or 2014, I can't remember. He said, "Ah man,
You
if
That's
understand?
I
well.
And
continue
he's
rapping,
trying
if
to
I
be a
continue rapping
surface
like that, I won't
consumer.
have made money in my life."
Yeah, I still told him. And he's
Because that's
trying
my
to be a
favorite
surface
AQ project.
consumer that you don't
Yeah,
know these things.
Yeah.
Unless
You
it
know
is
the
heavily
problem.
yeah.
You know
promoted.
the problem with hip hop.
Unless it's heavily promoted, you can't consume it.
You know
No,
the
there's
problem with
music
hip hop.
out. If I start mentioning, sorry, Ayo, if I start
Yeah.
mentioning Straight Butter now, Straight Butter is the most, is the we're getting there. I know, we're getting there. Straight
I'm not
Butter
done.
have
I'm
released
I'm
the
not
most
done with my
projects as a
questions,
rap group
Osage.
in Nigeria and a rap
Okay.
collective.
Okay.
They have over 30 projects and it's on Bandcamp, a Nigerian group. They won the best rap video in South City in 2009.
Yeah, the one I'm asking for.
Yes. No, it's even the 2010 one they now won.
Oh,
This is
okay, 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 okay.
2010,
Oh yeah,
the
2010.
2010,
Yeah,
the one that memes came.
yeah,
I was there. That's a rap group with Texzilla, XYZ, Dexavia, Enigma, you know, and the rest. Six group. If you don't know them, it's not their fault now. They've been releasing music and be putting it is there on the internet. But
yeah.
you're a soft consumer, and then you want to have a conversation about something that goes really deep. You can't have the conversation.
You know the problem, Osage?
Mm.
Hip hop has grown so big that people confuse it with pop music. So if you're not in their face, you are not relevant. They don't know that hip hop has a very strong underground culture. And underground is the one that actually carries hip hop. So that the other guys who do the mainstream stuff can now, is on their shoulders, they can now stand on. That's what people don't know.
You're right. You're right. Do you understand? In this whole thing, you're actually right. If you don't know, if you know Fino, you know Fino. When it comes to Igbo rap, you know Fino. But
Yeah, he's right.
did you listen to Nigga Raw?
Yeah,
You didn't listen to Nigga
I
Raw
want to
now.
I want us to
yeah.
Okay,
expand a little
you
more
know
on this
Nigga Raw, but you only
discography.
know Obodo. Man, no. Go and listen to Everything Remains Raw, Nigga Raw's second album.
You don't even know, you don't know MC
It's a
Loaf.
great album. You don't know MC Loaf. You don't know Slow Dog. Slow Diggy One Day. He has
Slow
an
Diggy
album called
one
The
day.
Kitchen. Did you listen to The Kitchen? You didn't listen to it now, but you want to have an opinion of hip hop in Nigeria. Man, get the fuck out of here. Ah, the thing, make this thing no vex. It's beyond the need AQ thing or more around.
Yeah, we can hear
Okay,
you.
I'm just ignoring you as I'm talking. Okay, I can
Oh,
hear you.
okay.
Do you understand? This
I'll
thing is
punch if I
beyond that
punch you.
AQ Netosi thing. It's more about you not having the knowledge base for you to then have an informed opinion or an informed conversation. You don't have it. Shut the fuck up. Please go ahead.
All right.
Yeah,
So for discography, right? We have. I want to go back. I want to just finalize it. We have You Know My P of 2008. We have Super Season and Day One. Those are like the three major albums that we are talking about, right?
those are three good albums. Yes,
Three good
yes.
albums. Then for AQ, right? A- does AQ have? Do you have? How many good albums do you think AQ has? Like,
God's
can you count
Engineering,
from AQ?
God's
Like good
Engineering 2
albums.
live albums, right? God's Engineering 2, Ethos, Rose, The Past, Present, and Future.
Everything post Son of John is like that was his
There's Crown.
really, really prime.
Yeah,
That's his prime. That's his
that's his
prime
prime. Okay,
period.
don't let me even mention The Past, Present, and Future. Crown
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
with Loose Skin on.
So let's go to the next criteria for that's cultural
Cultural
impact.
impact.
Let's go.
NATO takes it. Yeah, NATO takes it's
Ah,
like from
Neto
Okay.
tips
from
down
the Fulani
by
cabs
man. Yeah.
to yes, saying yes,
Ling-
boss, what
language.
language,
Yeah.
All right.
nicknames, the dress code. He made hip hop swaggier. Like
Yeah. He made hip hop cool.
without
Very cool.
people like NATO, you won't have people like YC. Do you understand? Like
True that. Yeah.
NATO is the one that came in and brought in luxury into hip hop in Nigeria. Before then,
Mhm.
it was looked upon as a very conscious stroke, backpack,
Hardcore.
hardcore. And while MI, socialized it with along with Ice Prince, Neto was the one that brought luxury into it and made it look, you know, tasteful,
Fashionable.
fashionable.
Trendy.
Thank you.
Cool.
Yes.
Let's not forget the
So
awards. I think he had like two MTV awards. So let me even go.
everybody won
Let me even
awards.
go.
Modena won awards. MP
He
won
won no,
awards.
he won Channel O
Yeah,
Award though. I don't think he won
I'm going to
MTV.
his wiki
Did he win
page.
MTV?
Channel O.
Awards and nomination.
He
MTV
won
Africa
I know he
Music
won.
Awards 2008 for Best New Musician.
Yes.
Oh yeah, Mamas.
Mamas, sorry,
Mamas.
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 Okay, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
thought you were talking about Europe.
Mamas,
I thought you were
Best
talking
New
about
He
Europe.
broke
Artist. Yeah,
ceilings.
all right,
Do you understand? He broke
all
ceilings.
right.
Neto made it. Neto made it into boardrooms where hip hop artists couldn't get into
Yeah,
boardrooms.
yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the next, so that's 1-1.
And just
That's
by the way,
1-1
anybody
now.
listening to this, so Neto, sorry, Neto is a fucking great rapper. May we not even talk
We're
that
Do you
one.
coming,
No.
we're
It's
coming,
not
we're
as if we're
coming. Oh, yeah,
downplaying
we're
I'm
him.
coming,
not.
we're coming.
He's your
So
rapper. Yeah, he's your
So that's
rapper's
1-1,
rapper. That's what I'm
right?
trying to
So
tell
skill
people out there.
sets. Why are you going
skill
with AQ?
sets.
Go. Yeah.
Um, I'd have to go with AQ. When you talk about lyricism, bars, similes, metaphors, definitely AQ over
Mm.
Neto. And this is like a 95-90 conversation.
Yeah, I think for Q, Q gets the fundamental aspects of being an MC, right? And if you don't know what an MC is, Gen Z, please Google it. He gets it right. I think the only part that NATO might trump Q in skill set is song construction. Like
Yes,
when he hears songs, well, yeah, he can do that.
yes,
Like, he knows when to lower his lyricism to feed a broader fan base.
yes.
I'll give that to him. But in every aspect of lyrics, then it has to be Q though.
Also, I think ultimately, Neto still doesn't have like enough body of work
It doesn't have
compared
a
to AQ, and that's enough body of work. Like he didn't put like there's not like the catalog is not that big in terms of from AQ. You have a
Yeah.
lot to choose from to pick from. Do you understand what I'm saying?
mhm.
For AQ, for Neto after those three albums, you don't have any, and you didn't do a lot of features too. So I can get where people will say, "Oh, AQ has shown that he's better in terms of for having better skill set as a rapper because he had done it like a more
AK
number of
has the
times.
best cipher verse,
Yeah, he
and
has done it
we've done a
a
million
lot. Yeah,
we've done a million cipher
And
verses, in Nigeria, from the Hennessy shitty Hennessy production
he's killed them.
to
He has killed them on
others, to the
Hennessy several
Martels,
times
to
to
everything,
Martel.
right? That last one they did, the last cipher. My God.
Hmm.
all right, let's
Yeah.
go.
And I also think,
Longevity.
sorry, for Q's, wait, hold up. For Q's side, right? When you speak of lyricism, the only guy I think that can trump him is Mode 9. And that is a big fucking plus for him. I think it's only Modo that can say, okay, yes, you can say, okay, when it comes to lyricism, Modo is the only guy that can trump AQ. And that's just a huge thing for him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like mode is 5/5. 100.
No, Modo is the Bible of that. It's the
It's
template.
the same thing when people just say, "Oh, Mode 9, you don't know." Did you listen to Mode 9? Like, who listened to Insulin, Mode 9? It's a fucking good album. I'm listening to it like, and
I am
that's the
sorry.
problem in
MI has
Nigeria.
better
I'm,
skill set as a rapper than AQ.
you said,
I say MI has better skill set than AQ as a rapper.
when we mean skill sets, I'm talking about lyricism, right? I think Emma is a dope lyricist.
Mm,
I think they're on the same level. And it's not the
if you
Emma
say
of
so,
now,
I'll
because
take
the
it.
Emma of now doesn't, it's not, the Emma of now is not lyrical anymore. But the Emma, the Emma of now is not lyrical.
I'm not
Like,
talking
listen to
about
the last
MI
I
of
album.
now.
think,
Sorry.
Yeah. So peak MI.
AK is
yeah,
my guy. I'm not going to
I
say
think
I
for
don't. AK
overall,
is my guy, but I'm not going to say
I
he's
think for
more.
overall, I think overall, MI just tops it
Yes.
because
Yeah,
MI's first half of his
It's
career
it's
is
amazing.
God
And
level.
and and
Is God level
and
shit.
how
Oh, he didn't. That nigga didn't
and
miss.
how MI can Nigerianize like the lyrics, right? Like
Yeah,
it's a level of penmanship to deliver lyrics in, so to say, like Nigerian language. Do you understand what I mean?
yeah,
You hear records like My
I
Beleo,
yeah.
My Beleo, my, and the writing, the penmanship of the record. If you mean say na 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 dee, dee, na, 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 that's
I think
lyricism,
yeah.
and that's
Apart from all
penmanship.
that too,
So
MI is
there's
the
a
only
record called,
rapper. MI is the only Nigerian rapper that was at the top of his game and was still taking breaks to give us mixtapes. Like
yeah.
at the top
it's
of his
He's
crazy.
game,
stellar
at the
illegal
top of
music.
pop
Yeah,
culture. Like
Yeah,
he still took
yeah.
breaks and
yeah.
was giving us
Illegal
mistakes. That
music.
alone,
Illegal
yeah, that
music
alone,
is
It's
that
insane.
that whole
nah,
series
It's insane.
nah,
is
nah, nah,
goated.
It's
Is
insane.
nah,
goated.
nah, nah.
It's the second greatest Nigerian hip hop artist.
No, MI is top five
It's
anywhere,
top.
top three. Anybody, if you don't have MI in
MI
your
is
top
my
two
number
MI
self,
is,
then you
MI
are
is top
joking.
greatest
two.
ever.
MI is top two. MI is my number two after Olamide. All right, let's
Yeah,
go.
I always say something. I always say something that your top three in Nigeria should always be Mode 9, Olamide, and MI. However, you want
That's
to
it.
now construct
That's,
it is your own business.
that's a business.
But
Yeah.
those three are the
Standard.
undisputed. Just leave them. They are the standard. Leave them there.
mine is
Okay. So
Olamide,
skill
MI Abaga, Mode 9.
so 2-1 longevity. I think AK takes this one. Nobody can argue
20
with
years
him,
in the
right?
game.
Of course, now nobody can
Yeah.
take this one now.
Neto came in
All right. Thank
208,
you, Asagi, for convincing us.
delivered
You
delivered
know,
really good albums, and dipped in 2012. So in a 4 year period,
Okay.
dropped two good albums, then dipped, then came back in 2015 to drop the one, then dipped again. So that consistency.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but shout out to
bro.
Nito though, and shout out to
I
Q.
know,
Yeah.
I
I
I think
know,
hip hop,
I
and
know,
again,
I know what I know what happened on Twitter today, right?
No, of
yeah,
course.
People just
We
saw a
all know what
clip.
happened.
People just saw a clip.
and they ran with
AQ,
it.
Yeah,
and they probably don't even know AQ. Like
bro,
some of the people who reacted, right?
bro,
AQ need to see,
that's
and
all.
they just lost their
See,
mind.
guess what?
I
Some people
swear.
don't know me need
That's
to
all.
see. Some people don't know need to see like they know need to see. That they think they know need to
They
see.
don't know Neto.
They don't even know
Because
Neto, apart
to
from the
know
singles.
NATO, you must know Ikechukwu. And you must
Yep.
know where that lineage is coming
Hmm.
from in Nigerian rap. If you
Yeah.
cannot
But
break down what they did
Double
I
in
understand.
ESP,
Nigerian rap during that period,
world
then you don't know
famous
Nigerian rap.
academy.
The world famous
I understand.
academy. Oh, come on.
Bro,
When
You're
I saw the
joking.
bro.
reaction,
Do you know when I
the
know
reaction, I wasn't surprised at all.
it's there's a lot of bias, and in this life, you see that thing Bonner Boy said. That thing is very important too. It's one of the
What's
realest
that?
things. Say in this life, you better make it because if you
Yeah,
don't,
you explain,
no
explain.
evidence.
Evidence. You go
It's
tire.
it's I don't know how to explain
Yeah,
how
there
that
was a
thing.
day I put that in. There was a day I put that in on the group. Do you
Mhm.
remember?
Yeah, yeah,
That
yeah,
day I
yeah.
was tipsy. I was drunk, right? Then that thing just came to my mind. I'm like, Omo, the level of Igbo this boy don't smoke. For Burna Boy to come
Bro,
up with
it's
that thing
mad.
is mad.
It's the realest
Because
shit
it's
ever.
truth.
This is
You go
That's
bust.
a quote they'll
Yes.
say for the next 40
bro.
years.
Bro.
If Aristotle said this thing,
Guy.
if Aristotle said this thing as
Bro.
a man
It
can
will
only
yeah,
be
it will be critically
yes, you
acclaimed.
know how Aristotle says a man can
Yeah.
only be man must show
Whatever.
level
I
of
know.
work for man to if not know everything. Like Aristotle can say that
Like he's just
bro,
Without
mad.
evidence, a man cannot show his hands are successful. Something like that.
bro.
That's like
See,
something like
my
that.
daughter is
Yeah.
growing up. Imagine if I start
It's
telling my
mad.
daughter in 30 years from now, I used to be one of the major guinea in this. My daughter will say, can you show me? You go explain, tire, no evidence.
You go
No
explain.
evidence.
How do your children want to know that you were at the top of your game at one point if there's no evidence?
Of your
It's only
game.
success.
Yeah.
If you are not
Yeah.
successful, fuck it.
It is.
There's nothing. That's the legacy. That's
Nothing.
the ultimate legacy, my
It's
guy.
success. And
It
that
is
is what
actually
is happening when people have this kind of conversations.
conversation.
Ikechuku's name
Yeah.
does not even come up anywhere. It's
At
so sad.
all.
People
Yeah.
say SDC. Of course, you say SDC. First of all, shout out to Show Them Can because discography on point, lyricism on point, impact on point, longevity on point. Do you understand?
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
tick all the boxes. But the only reason why they are calling their name, these people are calling their name, is because they are successful.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Yeah.
nobody mentions Ikechuku.
And
This guy
that's
did
the funny thing,
three
because when we do this
good
list,
albums, three good
yeah,
albums, right? Son of the Soil, the second album and the third album, they reconstructed. Nobody mentions E Kills. Nobody.
it's crazy. Yeah, even saying kills. Sinzu. Sinzu had a mad run when it was hot, man.
Bro, they will still even mention the people that remember Sinzu with Carolina with Davido. They will still mention.
And that's the only one they will know
Do you
now.
understand?
That's the only one they know.
Do you understand?
You know the funniest part? When we get to the SWAT truth era, right?
Yeah.
And you start bigging up the likes of Overdose and Terry's and 6 Foot Plus. People look at you as if you're crazy. That who are these ones? But they don't know that's the foundation, my guy.
You get.
That's the reason why everybody's here.
And you now go and call one person. Do you understand? They will just go and call one. And the problem about and that's why I can't have these conversations on Twitter because look at how we had this nuanced conversation now where we're talking
Yeah,
about going back and forth with NATO and AQ, and we kind of big them up, but we also showed where their shortcomings were. You can't have this kind of
yeah.
conversation on Twitter because once you show a shortcoming on in a tweet, that's what they now
You already hit it.
then everybody
Yeah.
quotes that tweet and then jumps
And
on.
it blows it up.
That's all, and you can't have that. You can't have that nuanced conversation. And it's sad. It's sad. The shit ruined
Anyway,
it ruined my evening. Sorry I went on this whole rant, guys.
me, I didn't even bother because I knew that if I enter that whole this space, well, boy, I said, you know what? Let it be.
I think I was also shocked with the amount of reaction from music Twitter, like execs, like music guys, music insiders. I didn't know why they reacted. Is it that they don't like
I
EQ
think the
or
only
oh because
Even the
see
I
top
think
that
the
this
only
is
ten.
his
reaction.
cousin, right? Or
I
his
saw the
uncle.
No, you
Isas
have to
Can't
understand
remember
this.
his
Sir.
name.
It's
registered
no,
as
you
family
have to understand this. Sir.
storm.
Comment.
That's like, come on. Like me, I understand this as point
Yeah,
of.
he
Yeah,
worked at the storm. Yeah, that's true.
yeah, that is
I
family,
get
so
it. I
he
get
has
it.
to.
It's his cousin.
Yeah,
He worked at Storm. So you
yeah.
can
He worked at Storm at that period, so obviously. But some of these other execs that you're talking about were not around during this period. Like I said, if they say Nigerian music started in 2012, then anything before that is Fela and King Sunny Ade and Oliver the Cook. Nobody knows anybody again.
and shout out to Adeayo of Pulse, right? Adeayo said the conversation is AQ now, and all the OGs and music execs are filing out to drop their 2 cents. These are the same folks who went radio silent when Afrobeats was denigrated on
I
one
saw
of the
that tweet.
biggest global
In cook that
stages.
thing well. I loved
Of
it.
course, now you want to reduce your dollars.
He
You want to cut
cooked.
your dollars.
Yeah, he cooked.
Yeah, no,
I
he
beg.
cooked. He cooked. He cooked. He cooked massively on that tweet. And it's true. It's true. And it is always hip hop that garners this conversation all the time, right? Every time, hip hop, hip hop, hip hop. Afrobeats, R&B, nah, they don't garner these kind of
No,
conversations. But hip hop,
not because hip hop still respects the art of music, the quality of music being put out. So when you say yeah, bet somebody's ranked higher than somebody, it matters. In Afrobeats, they'll be like, I don't care. I have a bigger car than you.
imagine you
I have
put
a
out
bigger chin than
you
you.
put you put a top 10 list and you put Kiss Daniel somewhere, you put Ricardo Bank somewhere, you put CK somewhere, you put Crayon somewhere. Nobody's even going to attend to the list. They will just keep it
See,
moving.
the algorithm will not even bother to even push your content because they're like, bro, I beg, this is. But if you do hip hop, bro, trust me, radio will be talking about it.
All right, I want to quickly go on another rant. Quick short one. For the love of God, everybody listening to this podcast, for the love of God and the love of yourself and your family and for your sanity, do not, do
I knew
not,
that was
please, I
what you were
repeat
going
one
to
more
say.
time, never, do not board a Royal Air Maroc flight.
Body what? A royal what? I didn't get
Not
that.
fly with Royal Air Maroc. Royal Air
Oh,
Maroc. Do not fly with Royal Air Maroc. I repeat,
all
do not
right.
fly with Royal Air Maroc. They are the most useless airline to exist in this world. I'm telling you, whoever constructed this simulation just puts that one and said in the code, fuck shit up. I had the nastiest experience. Shout out to Steve Dede. If not for the intervention and the wisdom of Steve Dede, and like God just used Steve Dede that one I was going to fly the night before I was going to fly. Steve came to my house and in passing heard one or two things and said, "Which flight are you taking?" I said, "Oh," and I was grinning, saying, "Oh, Royal Air Maroc." And he just looked at me, and Steve already knew the next 12 hours or 24 hours of my life was going to be shit.
Please break it down a little bit. Just a summary for us.
A summary. The summary is the airline is so disorganized. See, there had been let me explain to you. I was somewhere in Europe planning to come to Nigeria and after some time go back. And I said, "Oh, there's a site I go to. I can get like affordable flights there." And so I went there and I saw this airline. And they were like, "Okay, Royal Maroc, all right, cool. Just one stop, in Casablanca, and boom, I'm in Lagos. Shouldn't be much of a problem." And I saw some reviews. Okay, I'd already paid anyways. Then I had to I figured that I had to go to their office in Lagos to pay for extra luggage. And I went to the Google Maps, located the office, and I said, let me just check the comments. And 90% of the comments were negative. So I know I'd entered Wala already. But I'd already entered Wala. What can I do? Gotta be positive, stay positive, be positive. Bro, The lady at the VI office is nasty. This is civil service level nasty.
Oh, oh, that's terrible.
Do you understand?
That's terrible.
The kind of nasty that she does not want to lift a finger to do anything. First of all, I want to pay for extra luggage. I say, how much is extra luggage? She does compute it and shows me, writes it down on a piece of paper. I'm like, okay, I go somewhere. It was even Nana and I. I go somewhere and come back. Then I want to pay for it. You can't pay with your card. You have to do a transfer. Then I do the transfer, and then she prints out my receipts. And then there's some significant amount of money that there's a difference between what I paid and what my receipt shows. So it means that the time in which I checked and went out and came back, the pricing had changed, and she forgot to reprice it for me to pay. And so I tell her, "Oh, look at what my receipt says. Look at how much I paid. There's a deficit here." And she was like, "Is it because of this small amounts that you want to
Ah, ah.
farm?"
On top of your own money,
That's when I knew I was in trouble.
one chance.
Then I checked the app because any flight I'm going with, I download the app so I can have all the information, do whatever I need to do. And it's showing me a number of bags, one less than what I paid for. So I explained to her, I said,
Mm-mm.
"Oh, madam, paid for X number of bags. This is showing me on the app X minus one. Is there an issue?" And she was like, "Ah, that's the website. To me, I've paid, I've sorted you here and everything. The website is not my business."
Ah, then what is she there for?
My brother, this was just a taste of what I was going to experience.
Oh, this is still a
This
taste.
is a
Wow.
taste. So I had to go to the airport and go to the Royal Air Maroc office at the airport,
Hmm.
right, and confirm if truly I'd paid for the right number of bags. And so the lady there was kind enough to say, "Oh, yes, you have." At times they bundle one of those bags together. So it looks as if it's three, but it's actually four. As long as you have four receipts, you are fine. I was
Oh,
like,
okay.
"Oh, okay, fine." Okay, so on the night before I was meant to travel, Steve comes to the house. I think he came to pick up his mics. Nana was there. I was like, "I'm going to wear my rock." And you're like, "For real? Are you packing any food items?" There's a certain food item you can't pack, fish. They go crazy, right? He was telling me that a relative of his was also traveling and experienced the same problem. And he even went as far as calling this relative on the phone. And the relative said, "Oh, yes, that's true. We had to move. They saw the fish when we were moving bags." Then his Steve was like, "Oh shit, I remember now. Do you have any Ghana must goes?" Right? And I'm packing food items. I have to have Ghana must goes. I'm not gonna put them in like, you know, even though
You're not
they're
going to
sealed
put
and
them in Gucci
everything.
bags.
My mother-in-law put it together and all that. My brother, it's Ghana must go. See, this is how desensitized I am now traveling. Before I used to like want to be prim and proper. Now I actually don't care. I can literally travel. I'm part of those Nigerians now that will travel with any kind of anything. I don't give a damn. So he was like, "Ghana must goes don't go on the Royal Air Maroc flight." I'm like, "What? Let's go to the airport." Airport. Right. So boom, go straight to we get to the airport. And from the airport, they try to start hustling us. The guy was a bit useful, the security guy, right? He was trying to hustle us, but the guy was useful. Anyways, we found out that Ghana must goes don't go on these flights. So there's somebody at the airport who the guy introduces us to who sells bags that we can move our stuff into. They're like cheap bags that you can just throw stuff in. So the lady explains to us that you don't even need to empty the Ghana must go. Just take the Ghana must go and drop it inside the bag and seal and close the bag and you're good to
Customized.
go.
Customized
So we
solution.
walk from the airport. Yeah, customized. Yes. It's fantastic product marketing because they done customer research and they are sitting, in fact, they are sitting at the intersection of the customer's user journey with the problem. It's a fantastic business that those guys are doing. And they have, bro, PMF does not, product market fit does not get better than this. This is true PMF. And they have a total addressable market as well because customer they come every evening where they fly that flight, where they go come. Just like me, I gawked it. So we walk from Terminal 2 all the way to the third car park. where she sells us these bags, 7.5 for one, and I have to buy four. So I buy the bags, then I take the bags back to. Oh, okay. I was at a hotel, and that's where all my bags were. So I take the bags back there. My brother comes, we move the bags in. Then the security guy had advised us and said, if your flight is for 6 o'clock, I advise you to come and check in your bags at 1 a.m. I didn't understand what this guy was saying. I was like, 1 a.m. Why can't I just come at 5 some
1 a.m. K.
bags like
So what's happen?
I usually fly? The guy said, come around 1 a.m. So we drive back to the hotel. I say my bye byes to Steve, who has helped me out. So it was my brother and I. Then 1 a.m., boom, go straight to the airport. My brother, see crowd. So Royal Air Maroc is a trenches flight. I had no
Oh,
idea. Anyways, I don't want to get into too much details. We finally check in the bags and everything. Then I go back to my hotel, rest. Then in the morning, I head off and take my flights. Now, my flight goes to Casablanca. Then from Casablanca, I have another flight heading to somewhere in Europe. I have a 1 hour layover. Guess what happens?
whoa.
The flight is delayed in Nigeria by 1 hour.
Oh my lord.
So it means that when I get to Casablanca, the plane is
One
taking
time.
off. I can't make it anymore because the 1 hour
Oh
layover has
shit.
been used in Nigeria.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
You get. So what happens? It's delayed by 1 hour. Immediately, they're even sending me emails. They've scheduled me for another flight at the same time the next day. So it means I'm going to
Wow.
stay at the Casablanca airport for 24 hours.
Oh God.
Do you get? So I get to Casablanca, bro. Let me tell you something. Royal Air Maroc are so fucking disorganized. They have delayed flights every day. It's so bad that they are used to it. You know how if there was a problem, everybody's like the airline staff or and co at the airport, they'll be very receptive and apologetic about what's going on.
Yeah.
They didn't give a flying fuck, bro, because that shit up like it's people get shot every day. B that was what it was like. People miss their flights every day. B get in line. Anyways, we go to like they have like a lounge. See people for the lounge. We choke. We they wait. We don't miss flights because their flights are always late. Anyways, shitty experience. They gave us like food vouchers. I couldn't get a hotel room till
What?
like 11 in the night. The hotel room looked like
Wow.
one
What?
of those, bro. Couldn't get a room till 11 in the night, and I had to scream at the guy
What?
because he wasn't going to give me a room. Some people didn't get rooms. They slept on the yeah. Some people slept at the lounge on the long chairs. I had to tell the guy that. So I went at 9. The guy says come back at 10. No, I went at 7. I went before 7. The guy says by 7 you get the rooms for us. I went. There was one Bini guy now that scattered the whole place. Now they had to beg him. So I now knew that okay, these MRO guys, you have to go ballistic right before for them to respect you. So I went by 7, said I should come back by 10. I went by 10, he says I should come back by 11. I go by 11. He wants, and they are dismissing me like, please come back. I'm like, if you don't give me a room now, I'm going to turn this place upside down. You must be a stupid person. Yeah, now says, let me check. Then he checks. Then he gives me a room. The room looks like, you know how you watch these videos and they show you somewhere in like Sweden and they say, oh, these are the prisons in Sweden. You know, people are suffering that
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
Yeah, that's how the room looked like. It looked
Madness.
like a prison room. I'm telling you, with a small shelf. So I was there. Then in the morning, just prepped up. Of course, it's like shared bedrooms. I went to the bedroom. One of the sink was broken. Bro, I'm telling you, I will not wish my enemy to go
This
on
is trenches farm.
an royal. There's nothing royal about Royal Air Maroc. Do not take these flights. You will suffer.
Bro.
I
Full
finally
blown
made it
suffer.
out of there.
I'm so sorry, my friend. I'm so sorry. It wasn't easy.
bro, bro, bro,
You made it out of the
bro.
trenches.
I made it out. So yeah, I think yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think I've let everything off my chest.
yeah, yeah.
Do
That's
you
the
guys want to go farm meal?
Yeah, let's do family.
Okay, this is from um I don't know I can pronounce this name. This is from Umar. I'll just use your other name. Umar says he's an old time. I'm an old time listener, but first fan mail. Hurrah to you! Shout out to you guys for doing your thing, being authentic, and also appreciate you guys for dropping life lessons for these young cats trying to navigate through life, because a lot could change in the society. Quick questions: how does a man handle a situation when the lady he's getting married to earns slightly higher than him? How does he ease off that pressure? Please, who wants to take this? Who wants to answer this? I have a simple answer, but do you guys
Please,
want?
Bros, there's pressure.
as long as you can simplify
There's
it,
pressure.
please go
Somebody's earning
first.
more than you, and there's
I don't
pressure.
because I don't think I'll be able to simplify my answer. Like, just go.
My answer is very
Bro,
simple.
somebody's earning more than you now. Which pressure
My
is
answer is
there now?
very
Enjoy your
simple.
life now.
Someone is
What else do you want again?
someone is earning. Do you
Let,
understand that? Someone is
let
earning
me put it
slightly
this way,
higher
my
than
brother.
you. You should
As
be
long as you are
happy.
trying as long as you are trying your best and
You should be happy.
you're not lazy. You're a hardworking guy doing your thing, right? My brother, anybody that's any more than you is a blessing to you. So, my brother,
My brother. My
just move
brother.
ahead. Just move ahead. Your
My
value should
brother.
not be tied to how much you have or how much you are providing at that very moment, right? You're a guy. Exactly, my brother.
There's more money in the
Shoot,
system.
go.
Most more stocks to
Exactly.
buy.
More comfortable your children are going to
What are
be.
you
So, my
talking? Okay,
brother, there's
Steve.
nothing. What are you even
I know.
thinking?
I know what the problem is, Steve. I know what the problem is. It's because, and not speaking specifically to you, Umar, Mr. Doctor. Is it Doctor Umar? Or it's just Mr. Umar? Not speaking specifically to you, but a lot of people.
Dr. Omar.
Yeah, sorry. A lot of people are going into marriages with people they do not trust. It's happening. Do you understand? It's happening. And we've had this conversation before about, do you know what your spouse earns, etc., and a lot of other things, right? And again, the conversation is complex because different backgrounds, different people, and all that. But this should not even be a topic. If someone is earning twice how much you are earning, if you are worried because you feel that person's character might change towards you. And then that means that you are not really, are you really happy going into a marriage with somebody that can exhibit that kind of character? Whether you're a guy or a girl now. Do you get what I'm saying? Do you guys understand what
Hundred
I'm saying?
percent, 100%, 100%.
Yep.
If you are worried that, yeah, if you are worried that,
Yeah. If you're worried that you
I mean, people
earning
freak
your
me out.
woman earning more
You
than
are
you is going
sleeping
to
in the
affect
same
your
bed with
marriage,
somebody you do not
it's
trust.
better not get married at all to that person. It's simple as that.
My brother,
Simple
don't
as
do
that.
it. Don't do it. You cannot be praying for
Yeah.
somebody
Just because of
to
your
have a
ego or
glass ceiling
whatever.
in their
Yeah.
life just to your
Brother.
because your or the person might have a tendency to
Yeah.
change switch up on you. Don't
Unless you
get
maybe a
married to
Dangote
somebody that
or
will
maybe a
switch up on
Dangote
you.
son or Tunelu Melu's PA, let me tell you something. I say, brother, getting into a marriage and getting married to a woman who's earning her own money and just being a boss on her own, just doing things right. It does a lot for you, right? It does a lot for you. It gives you more assurance for your kids. Like, it just makes everything better. So there's no need for it to be a reason for you to be scared. You know, I don't see it that way.
Thank you. The second question: where does Shodem Camp rank amongst the greatest?
Show them. Bang, bang.
Interesting that we just had a conversation about hip hop and rap now. All right, guys, where does Shodem
Yeah.
Camp rank with you guys?
I think from the conversations we had about NITC and AQ, and this person should be able to have known now where we we might rate, we might put should them come. They're definitely high on the list
Def
because Osage
if
even hinted it about
yeah.
longevity, quality of work, even cultural impact too.
Yeah.
So yeah.
If I'm looking at the top 50, then show them will be in like the top 20, give or take. Yeah. And that is a lot because a lot of people will not know that there are 50 rappers that can actually enter Nigeria's top 50. So to put Show Them Camp in top 20, that's a huge compliment.
I would even put them in. I think they will make my top 15. Definitely.
Yeah, probably 15. Yeah,
And I
15.
see they might even make my top 10. I think I've done this before and I mentioned one or two of them in my top 10. They might actually even make my top 10.
Man, deal. We will go line up this thing well. Man, deal.
Show them camp since they dropped um the Dreamer project in 2011. My brother, from the mixtapes to the Pan Wine series, my brother, they went from being a group like Mob Deep to morphing into a group like Outkast with the Pan Wine
Yeah, it's
series.
not easy.
Do you
Yeah,
understand? Look
what
at
they even
the
done to the hotel community again
you
is
get
amazing.
give the hotel community a platform with their mixed with the Pan Wine series, you know. Then look at the shows they've been going to. I mean, sorry, the shows they've
These
been
guys are selling.
the
They're
UK,
selling not abroad though.
US. Ah, Omo, show them camp. They are way up there for me. Way up there. Respect them a lot. Shout out to Ghost and Tech. Okay, thanks. So this is from Promise. Promise, hi Stock Farm. I opened the STEM episode to read the show notes first before listening, and as I usually would, only to see a link to an episode of a Music in Time podcast titled "The Journey: Black Magic." I clicked and listened, and oh boy, was it a journey to the soul for real. So good that you had him on the podcast and you went through discussing the entirety of his discography and everything that led to their birth, the experiences not excluded. Usags, that podcast is truly a gem to treasure for times to come. So grateful for it, man. I listened to the episode with AQ, Dari, Dr. Seed, Files, etc., and they were so rich. I really enjoyed listening to them. Now I can agree with Steve that A Music in Time is one of my favorite and most cherished podcasts. Please keep it coming. I hope you'll be able to secure as many guests as you wish for future episodes. Just listen to City Boys our back episode of Loose Talk to find out A Music in Time is recorded seasonally. Looking forward to it, man. Can't wait. Too excited. I later listened to STEM episode and it turns out you put the wrong link to the show notes. It was supposed to be the link to the episode with Blackface instead of and not Black Magic. Thanks for the good work you guys are doing. Blessings. Nana, you're listening
On a
to
black.
this.
On a black.
But Nana, you are listening to this because you are going to edit this. You are editing it as you're listening to this. Do you see your life?
Please, talking about a Music in Time podcast, how many episodes have you done in total? 24, 25, 26,
I need to check. Can I
25,
check?
25. Let's say 25. How many albums from female artists have you reviewed?
The smoke. This is the
This guy
smoke.
going to do.
Oh.
Is
Today head is tomorrow Osage. What a life.
Please, also, I'm waiting for your response. I
yeah,
beg.
I've done 25.
Wallahi.
How many
So
female
you've done
artists?
25. So how many from?
I-
Yeah.
Out of all 25, let me check. Actually, none. However, I have recorded
Okay.
for
I
season
rest my.
3.
No, no, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah,
It's fine.
however,
Steve,
It's
allow
fine.
him. You
You
cannot
you you
you
want you
cannot
want to
hang a
explain now,
man.
but evidence. This thing when you want to explain now, evidence no day.
Evidence
No
day. They say
day.
they upload down. They are uploading
No
it to the
day.
server. Calm
Okay.
down.
Let's make the uploader first before you.
I've recorded one already, and that was the first episode. And shout out to Afro 7. She was the guest on it.
Yes, yeah.
And I got a woman to be on the guest. In fact, the
Because
first
it's
Mhm.
when when the first time this came to my head about
Wait,
women are like albums for female on Music in Time was in short like I prepared it's just because I my phone is not here. I wrote it down on my phone notes I prepared a whole monologue for you about. I wanted to start with
Wow.
equality, what equality means in this. Like I wanted to go on a rant. So I saw Waji
Guess what? I
performing
would have been
recently at an event. I can't
I would
remember
have
what
been
what
supporting
event.
you on the monologue,
I
bro.
saw
I
Waji
would have been
performing. I was like,
supporting you and supporting you. Then you just give it to me.
and I remembered that wait, oh, someone has an album that Osagi has not reviewed. I'm like, what the
I've
fuck?
done it
That's
now.
when I said, okay. And I just took my phone and started writing down. You know,
I've done it. I've done it already. I just need to record some more. I want to do like five. I have two down already. Once I do three more, at least I'll release it. I know people want to. Because it's a nice podcast. I also want to listen. I also want to put it out there and do more. All right. And shout out to Promise. Thank you very much. Femi, these are three chunky paragraphs. What's going on? Guys, you guys that are writing this thing, what's going on now? What's happening to you?
You are not, don't write for. You're not writing for
I
president
know your
to write.
therapist
Please, I
now.
beg.
What's going on?
Farm mail.
Look at this one.
Farm
My
mail.
mouth is paining me. This one is so fucking chunky. Eh? First of all, I want to give you guys this is from Femi. First of all, I want to give you guys your flowers. The baddest trio since the 98 Bulls. Osage will be Jordan, AOT2 will be Scottie Pippen, and Steve, ultimate lead researcher Dede, would be Dennis Rodman. Do you guys
Thank God you know he's the madman.
Mhm. This will be my second attempt at writing a fan mail to you guys since 2018 after AOT2 and Steve refused to read my fan mail on that episode. Even after Osaks asked
Wow.
them to even after Osaks asked them to, since he couldn't stay the entire episode. I saw them spoil the lyrics in blackface voice. I've been composed for just finesse. The thing pay me sha.
Okay.
Now why I vow say I no go write it to any other to write again to any podcast again. Just kidding. I've attached the family for context. Been a listener since 2016 and I don't think I've missed an episode since I stumbled on your podcast during my service year. Really wish you guys well and I know the hard work you all put into this pod and your careers will definitely pay off. Now in Canada, trying to start a life over again and I'm still soaking myself in all the culture shocks. The day I got my SIN, I was told to wait for 30 minutes and in exactly 25 minutes I got called and then my SIN in another 10 minutes without begging anyone, paying anyone or knowing anyone. I tried to do my NIN in Nigeria in 2020 and I had to wake up by 4 a.m. to go to Zenith Bank HQ around 5 a.m. only to see I was the 86th person on the list and still had to sort the security guy so he would help me get inside as I still had to go to work that morning. Mind you, getting my NIN at banks is seamless. Getting your NIN at banks is seamless when compared to other options. I had tried it at my local government on the mainland only to see secondary school children sleeping in cold overnight to get this same useless NIN because Doodle Brain decided to make it compulsory for young Nigerians before they can write some useless exam. Even the young and adolescent Nigerians are not spared from this shege. I'll do well to write more about the culture shocks in subsequent famines because I get one every other day. Also, what do you guys think about battle rap scene in Nigeria? The main rap leagues, BRN, BRA, WOTS, seem to be trying hard to create something. I know MI supports the hip hop event happening at Hard Rock Cafe every now and then. I'm also impressed with the rise of battle rappers, Dame Daisy Slimbok, who I think are the ones to beat right now. However, I think what happened to Nigerians doing pure English rap is about to hit them too. I recently stumbled on a YouTube page, Kabek's House of Bars, where these rappers battle rapping in Yoruba are getting up to 200,000 views, even more than the English rapping guys with their MI cosign. I mean, except now streaming farm proceeds, the data shows that people would always connect more with indigenous rap than pure English rap. I would appreciate your honest opinion on the battle rap scene. Thank you. I'm not the biggest on the battle rap scene in Nigeria, right? Although I have shout out
why
to
is
Deji
why is there this hip hop theme? Sorry, yes. Why is there this hip hop theme to around today's podcast? All of them are plan from Tolani to
I don't know.
to the farm meals
Yeah,
today.
I don't know. I don't know. I guess when the universe conspires, it conspires. Yeah, shout out to Day Genius with what he's doing with the hip hop event. Started at CC Lounge, took it to Hard Rock Cafe. He's like really into it. His YouTube page, everything. Day Genius, shout out to you. And that's where it stops for me. Because even battle rap in like Yankee, I'm not the very one of the biggest followers. Like, of course, I know Loaded Locks, etc, right? But I do not. I don't have like what's the name of the app they use in watching it? Caffeine. I don't have caffeine on my phone, and I'm not watching it. But if I see the clips, I kind of enjoy it. But you're right. Indigenous rap will always supersede any other kind of hip hop, right, in Nigeria because people gravitate towards what they understand and know the most, and that's what's when you speak in your mother tongue, that's what people understand the most and gravitate towards. So they will always be more successful. It only makes sense. Look at the top 10 biggest rap singles; they all have some sort of local dialect in them, whether it was in the chorus or in the raps themselves. You guys have any take on this?
I've been looking at the local scene with one eye. Shout out to the genius. He has been at it for a minute, and it's not the easiest thing to do. I'm not a big fan of battle rap, even the one in America. I just feel it's entertaining, but I don't feel my problem with battle rappers is that they don't make good rappers at the end of the day when it comes to recording music. But I understand it's a very strong part of hip hop, and it's good to see that part coming out in Nigerian hip hop music. For the indigenous stuff, like Osage said, man, if you speak something in your mother tongue, your people will listen to you because people want to consume content in a way they understand intimately. And it's just brain work. It doesn't have to do with any farm or anything. It's just simple as that.
Yeah, that's it.
And for me, it's not even about language itself. It's just about the content. I feel that the local content is your unique perspective. That's the only unique thing that you have to offer to, especially when people outside the country. What's the reason for an American to listen to you if you're not offering something local from your own uh, country, right? So even when we try to take on imitate the best rappers in America, I think the best with the local content, the local flavor, I think they are the ones who make the most impact. Shout out to Rugged Man and shout out to Mod Knight. Haha.
Shout out to them. All right, this is from Tola. Shout out to the nerdiest guy in the room, AOT2, and the lead researcher who always adds an extra cube of Maggi to the pod. Thanks for sharing your thoughts on my previous meal, the MSC versus skill predicament. It was very helpful. Please, I and other super fans would love to hear about how you all survived through life in your mid 20s, professionally, financially, and even
Yeah, we,
emotionally.
we have to.
Almost every
We have
youth on
to.
my street is into fraud. I
The
choose to
youngies
take
need
all
it.
these pressures
Yeah,
as a
we have
motivation
to.
to excel
I
legitimately
think
in my
the
crafts.
you know the number one
Steve,
thing that worked
maybe
for
we'll
me
do
was
an
immersing
episode where we
myself
just
in
talk
work,
about the craziest things we experienced in
because
our
understanding
20s.
that I needed to put in time in whatever thing I was
Yeah,
doing in my
yeah.
craft
We'll do it.
to be able to
Yeah.
be
Oh
well
yeah,
established in
definitely,
my 30s.
definitely.
So I immersed myself in a lot of work in my 20s. That's how I survived whatever it is that I survived.
That's dope. I'll tell you for a fact, right? You know how they say, "Oh, you did this, then you did that." What was the motivation behind it? To be very honest, I was just trying to escape poverty.
Facts, fam.
Do you understand? I'm like, door open for there. Ayo, you know this thing now. You know how we're moving back there now. Any
Yeah,
opportunity,
rugged.
we just. Do you understand? You just take it because when we didn't know if that opportunity would lead to anything, but we'll take it first. We'll get it done, bro. Do you know how many? I was running we're running blogs. And people were
Yeah.
there was nothing we're not doing there. We're out at night, we're out at day, we were not sleeping. Bro, should I tell you guys, Steve, do you know how I met Ayo?
That's a classic story.
Maybe you
It's,
told me the story before. Maybe I've forgotten. Please refresh my memory.
so Ayo, had we known each other online before we knew each other offline? I don't think so.
No, so the funny story is that we had a mutual friend, but we never met through that mutual friend until we met. So the first time we met was when I went to Club Rockaway.
Obakran.
Um, Obakran. So in case you guys don't know, Club Rockaway is a defunct hip hop event that happens every month. A rapper will headline. It was organized by HNIC Dr. G. that had one bad ass, hip hop program on Reaper. I think every Friday night or Saturday
Yes.
night. I can't remember anymore. So the event happens every Saturday or Friday night. So me, I came with my camera, hip hop old guy. Let me just be
With
performing.
your backpack.
Back then we thought with my
What
backpack
year?
and everything.
What year was this?
2009, right? And I saw people just standing. I just took their pictures, and for some reason, there are two guys with their backpacks. They're not looking at the stage, and I took their photograph and I put on my. This was the era of Facebook, and I put like a photo album, Club Rockaway, and I said two hip hop heads with their backpack. A few minutes later, a few hours later, somebody just said they are not hip hop heads. Their names are Osags and Feku. And lo and behold, it was somebody called Osage Olonge. That's how we first met, actually. They will not find out we had a mutual friend. His name is Bayo. Then from then, our paths just started crossing more and more, and that's how it started. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I don't see they paid me to cover the event, too. I just felt that I should just go out in the dead of the night to follow fellow hip hop heads to be shouting up and down. Weird, man.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's a
Yeah.
long time ago, man.
Long. That's a different era. Anytime I pass that Obakan, I just look at that place. I'm like, damn, history.
Yeah. Yeah. That place was, man, some of the best hip hop shows happened there. Remember the
Bro,
MI edition? Remember the Terry the Rapman? The Terry the Rapman edition was crazy.
where
The
they shut down the stage, the mic no work again. Everybody just,
Oh
oh
my
yeah, it was
god,
done.
the place was mad. The Ill Bliss edition too was crazy. Bro, let me
You
tell you,
bliss, yeah,
Steve, if you're a fan of hip hop in 2009, so hip hop is not peak. Hip hop is not peaking now.
yeah,
Around 2009, hip hop was peaking, right? And when I mean peaking, this was the old guard, right? So the Mode 9s and Co's, then the Source Kids who had come in around 2006, then the MIs and Jesse Jacks who had come in 2008. So that
yeah,
2009, 2010 is peak hip hop in Nigeria. You had all of them still very active, dropping albums, mixtapes, collaborating, working together, right? This is also the time of Night House.
yeah.
So
Night house.
at that Club Rockaway, right, as explained, it was hosted by a guy, set up by a guy called HNIC, Dr. G.
Oh, gee,
He had the biggest hip hop show in Nigeria on Repower. The show starts at 10 and ends at maybe like 4 a.m. You didn't have access to a lot. This guy was breaking like new records. If there was a new 50 Cent record, he was breaking it on the show. If there was a new disc record, he was breaking it on the show. And that show had been around since, if I can remember, that show had been around since like maybe 2006. It had been around for years.
yeah. I've
Friday
been around for
nights,
mad years.
every hip hop head in Nigeria turned because and it was on Ripper
You listen
and it
to
was
that shit.
network. So even when we left Lagos, that's where everybody was tuning. Nobody slept on Friday nights because he was breaking the new records, the new 50 records, the new Jaru records, the new everything. He was breaking all those records, and then once in a while he'll bring some hip hop artists. This is the same show that Vector and AQ did that marathon rap for like 2 hours, that they freestyled
Mm-hmm.
for like 2 hours plus and didn't stop. It was the same show. Anyways, this guy now starts doing Club Rockaway. It's HNIC. If he invites you, everybody's coming. So at 10 o'clock at night or like 9 o'clock at night at Club Rockaway, you look to your left, you see Mode 9. You look to your right, you see MI, right? You look forward, you see Sasha. You look back, you see Big Time on Ome Oyaide. Every like you, bro, from S Dot to all the guys at Hip Hop World to Mike Magic to
Yeah.
like everybody was.
Everybody was in the building.
It was
Everybody was in the
you will
building.
lose your mind. Jimmy Jat would just show up. Everybody like So as a rookie in 2009, it was like I was in heaven. I used to lose my mind just looking around. Like, man, these are the guys I see on the album covers. You just see Body Lawson just show up.
Body lossing. I
You
don't hear that name in a
you
minute,
understand?
fam.
You just see as like fam, the presenters, the radio presenters, the writers, everybody, they would just show up at Club Rockaway. It was a huge deal. And that's where, of course, like Ayo just explained, I met Ayo and then our relationship kind of grew from there. So Ayo, shout out to you. You don't tell.
Omo,
You don't tell. You be
madness.
old cat. You be old cat.
Man,
All right.
man, fuck yeah, man. Let's
Oh yeah,
continue.
Steve, where did we meet? Let's start. Let's
The
do our
quiz.
own. Let's do our own. I think I remember when I met.
It's
I
not hip
met
hop
Steve.
related, so let's.
It's
The
music.
theme of this podcast is hip hop. This is not hip hop
Excuse me.
related. We'll talk
It's
about
music.
it.
It's
We'll
music
talk
Let's
about
not
it.
ruin
related.
it.
Let's not
It
ruin
was we met
the
at.
theme.
I
Oh
remember
yeah,
when
let's
I
not
met
ruin the
Steve.
theme.
It was actually not
Trenches.
trenches now. Come on.
It wasn't. It wasn't
Yes,
trenches.
now
It was.
I went
We
to
went in
Ikoyi for the
Ikoyi
first
actually.
time. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
All
That's true.
right.
That's true. That's true.
So yeah, we'll talk about 20s. We should. Yeah, but like I said, I was just escaping poverty, my brother. We'll talk about it. The last fan mail is from K. Not to overflog the issue, but your discussion on the cooking thing. Oh my god. On the cooking thing is not
Oh my
relevant. It's not
lord.
relevant to the tweet. The girl expressed being under I think I didn't copy this fan mail very well. But she's talking about the cooking thing and she says the girl expressed being under pressure due to exams and didn't think it was fair to be the one burdened with the task. This could have been any other task, but because it's cooking, the this got people hard. An example where hypothetically my brother takes care of the electrical stuff in the house. If there's an issue with the electrical stuff and he's at work, I know he's having a long day with other things in mind. I'm not going to sit down twiddling my thumbs and waiting for him to come back and fix it just because it's his role. I'll Google it or call someone to fix it or get lamps for the time being until the next day when he can. It would be unkind to just expect him to do all that regardless of what he's got going on. I totally understand. I get it. It's fine. If my sister is the financial provider of the house and suddenly her money is tied up in medical bills, I'm not going to sit down and say, I don't care, it's your role to provide. I'm going to get up and figure shit out. I think in his family is meant to be about contributing to each other's lives and sharing the burdens where possible. Got more to say on this, but let's leave it here. Okay, another point on Afrobeat has no substance. I disagree with this. However, I think we've definitely had other artists spew statements that support this. We had artists say Nigerians don't care about lyrics, just want enjoyment. This is a narrative that has been told by our very own Afrobeat artists to justify their sometimes vapid lyrics. I think we all I think we overall need more people that have respect for the craft and for the fan base too. I think Afrobeats as a name is lazy because it doesn't just include Afrofusion sounds, but also incorporates fully Niger sounds. When Afrofusion sounds and Fuji and High Life and Starlight and straight up R&B are all in the same category, it doesn't make sense. I think of the word Afrobeats as a movement, not a genre. Someone please come out and give us a proper name, please. Maybe it's for the media guys to do. Me, I like to call it Nigerian pop music. Straight up, sha. But I
It's
think
Nigerian pop. Nigerian pop. Simple as
but I
that,
think
man.
that ship has sailed.
A long time ago,
Yeah.
fam.
So it's Afrobeats to the world. Okay, let's get into job. I said let's. I wanted to say let's get into judgment. Let's get into the topics. Steve, the PEPT judgment. Do you want to touch on it?
Touch on it. In summary, Tinubu is still our president, and the tribunal said the aggrieved parties they were not able to show or prove or show good evidence that the election was rigged. Or they threw out all their cases for the Tinubu certificate issue, the Tinubu drug issue, the rigged election, everything thrown out by the tribunal. I think Peter Obi and Atiku said they're going to Supreme
Yeah,
Court,
they
right?
are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, let's wait and see if if they are proceeding to the Supreme Court. Yeah, that's the summary of it now.
Yep.
Oh
Have
yes.
people
No,
really?
he
Do
said
you
it was
guys
a
really watch that
12-hour
thing?
delay, 12-hour boring watch for the whole of the nation. Starting from 9 o'clock or to 9 and ending like 10 o'clock. It was just
Yeah, that's
no, I
true.
didn't watch, but I was just checking for updates just in case. Because
Uh,
my work actually involves me updating that stuff. And I was still
The
9
president was
p.m.
not
and I
there.
still
I
saw the
think
vice
their
president still there.
presidents
I'm
were
like,
their
Oga
presidents
VP, don't
were
you have
willing there.
anything to
Yeah,
do?
they all went
Can't
there.
they just
Even
text you
the
this bloody verdict and go to your
what's
house?
his name? Tinubu's right hand man now. What's the position again? The Lagos State guy, but Jamil. Yeah, yeah, he was there too now. Right? Yeah.
Okay, 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 I know him. I know him. He was there now.
Well, okay. I just
I was there for an hour
I
and
don't know.
watched.
Yeah,
I'd moved on
Before they
from
dipped.
everything about the election since
yeah.
when INEC announced the winner. Just because of
So
what I
is
think about this country and the system. Even before the election, although I voted for Peter Obi, I didn't have any hopes for his
Yeah.
candidacy. You guys remember I was predicting 500,000 votes for him. You guys remember, right? I swear. Yeah, because uh,
Yeah, he said
because
if you pass 500K, you try
you
at
said
most.
you said if you pass 500 that you buy us pizza.
Yeah, we're not saying that pizza still.
and I didn't promise anybody pizza. Why would I be promising grown men pizza for what?
Okay.
What is
Wow.
who is pizza? Grown men know the chop pizza. What's in the worry?
I don't understand. Sexist.
Yeah, so
Ageist.
I understood how, especially the political dynasties, how these guys have built influence over time, and it wasn't something they're going to give up. So I also understand the concept of Nigeria, how difficult and complex it is. So I never had any hopes for Peter Obi's candidacy. I just felt it was something to do. I'd never voted before, so you know what? Let me just for the first time I'm going to vote. Let me go just go and vote for somebody different, not in that political class. So I've moved on. When the result came out, I wasn't even surprised. But for the judgment itself, I didn't follow it extensively. Just from what I saw on Twitter and on WhatsApp groups, I didn't diligently follow the tribunal case. But during my minimal following, I was still able to see that Peter Obi didn't present the CAM didn't present the case very well. So the judgment didn't come as a surprise to me. I think it takes me back to my major criticism of Peter Obi and the whole Labour Party from his campaign to the election. I didn't see any sort of sophistication. It was just mediocre to me. Peter Obi's campaign was just driven by organic following.
It was on hype. It
Yeah, just hype.
was built on hype.
Exactly. I didn't see a lot of quality. I saw a lot of intensity, but I didn't see any sort of like refined strategy. And it also apparently happened for the case they presented to the tribunal, which was like quickly thrown out. For context, the tribunal said they said that Peter Obi, the Labour Party did not by any way of credible evidence establish that the allegations that the election that held on in February was characterized by corrupt practices. They couldn't like really prove it in court. There was no evidence. So yeah,
You know the
I'm
part
not
that killed
surprised.
me, Steve? You know the part that killed
Yeah,
me? They said if you are claiming that the election was filled with corruption and malpractice, then please prove to the court how your own votes were not part of that malpractice and corruption.
exactly,
And I was like,
exactly.
bro, well, what the fuck was that? That is law. That is real law
Yeah.
there, my friend.
It's just as if they
Do you
took the
think
Twitter talking point, they took it
Peter
to
Obi
court.
will run
That's how it looks like to me.
for
Yeah.
president in the next election?
Yeah, I feel it can. I feel it can, but not on this current Labour Party structure, because Labour Party will say it's disorganized. It's just Labour Party just carry Peter Obi on his head, but they didn't really have anything on ground. But yeah, I can see him going again in 2027.
I think what I'm looking forward to most is not even the next election. I'm looking forward to someone being a quality opposition, right? Quality opposition means always on the
Yeah,
toes.
we
We
don't
didn't
have
have
that
like
right now.
we still don't have that. Always being on the toes of the government, always asking questions. I just want quality oppositions. And quality opposition is why also it's part of what strengthens democracy, what makes like the governing party, the governing candidates will also put in a lot of work. So as much as people are still
Fair
talking
enough.
about
Fair
the next
enough.
election, I
Fair
don't really
enough.
care. I just want I
No
want
wahala.
quality opposition. That's just what I want.
Um, I saw a number of people sort of like berate the or refuse to accept the judgments. And
Ah, that's
question
their
for
own
me
board though.
was, if the ruling was done in your favor, would you not, accept it? You get what I'm saying?
It goes to what Wike said during his interview channels that when Peter Obi went to court when he was governor and he won, that everybody said the judiciary was right. Now that he has lost, now everybody saying the judiciary is wrong and is corrupt.
Hmm.
So it was false for you at the end of the day. If Peter Obi had won, people would have said, "Oh, all eyes on the judiciary worked," but now everybody saying the judiciary is corrupt.
All right, let's keep it moving. Speaking about moving, the Lagos Blue Line has finally been launched. Steve will be the
Èkó
most
ní
excited.
bàjẹ́.
Will be the most excited about this. Steve,
Um, everyone should be
I'm
excited now.
excited
At least
too.
how are we celebrating?
everyone should be excited because it's crazy that a city like Lagos we didn't have like a train system running across the city. So this solves a whole lot of problem. Hopefully, more improvement and more bus stops and like train stations stops exactly.
Stations.
Yeah, it will reduce cars on the road, make life better, like
Yeah.
comfortable and better for people. It's just the quality
Steve,
of life,
have you
increasing the quality
seen
of life. That's
Steve?
just all.
Have you seen people
So
have you
yeah.
seen people entering that metro line? The way they are so happy, the joy on their faces. One guy said he can't believe this is Lagos. It's like that. He said it's like we are flying on the air. I said, hey, if someone runs for election today,
You go
he go clean out.
sharply.
He go clean out.
Oh,
I just saw something on Wikipedia that I want to read to show you how necessary this is. In West Africa, there are only three metro lines: one in Abidjan in Cote d'Ivoire, one in Lagos, and one in Abuja. The one in Abuja is not functioning right now. There's some reason why it's not functioning. I don't know. I hope that doesn't have to happen to Lagos.
I think it's the security issues now.
No, this
The
one's inside the city.
I
It's
think it
not
has
the
to do.
Abuja to Kaduna one.
Oh, the inside the
Yeah.
city. Oh, the inside the
Yeah,
city.
I think
Oh,
Bloomberg
okay,
did
okay,
an
okay,
article on
okay.
it. I'll try and find that
Let's
link
look
again
for it
where
out
they
there.
said it's like a dead project now.
Oh,
Yeah,
the one they talked about, the Amechi project, the one Amechi was building. Was it the one Amechi was building?
I think
Yeah,
so.
okay, okay, okay.
Let me look for it.
Yeah, just trained the whole of West Africa, my brother.
Yeah,
That is
we
trench.
thank you. We thank God.
That
Say
is trenches.
they're giving us a metro line.
That conversation
so
is I'm conflicted.
where's the shuttle now? Where does the metro line move
My two to
towards?
Marina now.
What part of town?
It's
Okay.
just my two to Marina for now. Yeah.
Yeah, the red one is going to be moving from I think Agege Keja to the island. I'm not
Okay, so
sure.
this is the blue. Okay, this is the blue one. Marina to
Yeah,
my two. Then the red one should be from where?
from I think Ikeja around there to the island, but I'm not sure. By December, it should have been launched.
Hmm.
Fingers
Oh, that's
crossed.
good. That's good. That's dope. That's dope.
Make we they look forward to
Amen.
Congratulations to
Because December
everybody
for Nigerian
involved.
politician, it will be the next 7 years.
On 30 December. Guy, did you guys see the prices of
Yeah,
Afro
it was
Nation?
me.
It was
Yeah, that's the real price.
was that the real
That
price?
is the real price, my brother.
Was,
It's for
it
the
has to be for
IJG. It's for
VIP, sha.
IJGB. It's
Like,
not for you Lagos people. You Lagos people
all
go and
right.
do your own party somewhere. It's for the I just got back in it.
They should just quickly give
Yeah.
me media tag to go and cover it. I'm a
now. Wow.
journalist.
Obviously, now they get
Get
media tag
away.
one way or the other. Now. You
Get
can't come
away,
to
you
my
there.
you can't come to my house and I'll be doing concerts and now say I'll not come and go. Are you mad? We start Afro beats.
I also know it's
We
not
will germinate them
Afrobeat.
from the soil. You're not coming with your fake culture vulture this thing. No, 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 no.
Let's keep it moving. I want
All
to
right.
talk
What else
about,
is on the docket?
yeah, we're going to talk about like that 350,000 the girl received, and everybody's saying it's too small, too big. I don't think I have the bandwidth for that conversation
I
this
don't even
night.
have
Shout out
context
to
to
my
what
it was
people are
my
talking
guy that
about. I
tweeted
saw
that
it. I'm
thing,
Oh,
like, just
DJ
really?
Big. Yeah.
confused. I
Shout
didn't
out
see
to
the
him.
tweet.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so like Asage said, he does not have the bandwidth.
I don't know the content. I think he just did it for fun, but I don't know. I don't know if there's the context behind it. Yeah. I don't even have it, please. I beg. I beg. Yes, 350 is too small. Let's move on.
So talking about those financial conversations on Twitter, it's also being done with people who are polarizing, or it's done with people of different socioeconomic class and where they are mentally, their mind state. So when you bring up something like this, you're just going to fight because people are not going to agree because there's no explanation around, or there's no taking into consideration what the person's financial background can be, or financial situation can be, for you to then start having an argument around, oh, this money is too small, oh, this money is too big. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, I don't know you, I haven't met you.
Yeah.
If you earn 50K a month, 350K is really good, is good money. Someone gives you the money. Do you understand what I mean? That's 7 times your salary, monthly
Mhm.
salary. Then for some other people, if you give them 350K, it's like you give them 500 naira. Do you get? Now those set of people will now come on
Yeah.
Twitter, will now start clashing. Are you people okay?
Are you okay?
Because that's what happens. That's basically what happens. Talking about money and some other things, right? So there's a guy who, um I don't know if you guys know him, Anidi, right? He does a lot of stuff for developers growth and all that. And he tweeted
Yeah.
something. He said, when I started learning to play golf in 2021, I tried registering as a member of Ikoyi Club and by extension Ikoyi Golf Club. I was required to pay 2 million naira to join a wait list. In addition, I
Yeah.
needed one or two existing club members in good standing
True.
as guarantors, right? Someone says,
Def-
whoa, I was very shocked as I worked in that space in 2022. I have never, I have never known why why registration wasn't digitized. The guy now replies and says, beyond digitization, 2 million naira for what? After paying as well as providing guarantors, you still have to wait indefinitely and then hope and pray your registration application gets approved, or you convince your company to sponsor President's Cup. Also, you
Yeah.
can hobnob with the elites. With five,
Mm-hmm.
$6 or $8 in the Bay Area in the US, you can walk to into many golf courses, get a bucket of 30 to 35 practice balls, and hit the driving range. The things we package or label as luxury, private, and exclusive in Nigeria are very much public utilities owned and maintained by the local county or municipal governing them, right?
Yeah.
Someone now says, which is this is where I find this whole thing very funny. Someone now says, in a world where connections often hold the keys to success, it is really
Yeah.
wise to under it is really wise to undervalue the opportunity to network with the captains of the industry. Ikoyi Golf Club isn't just a club, it's a portal to the corridors of power. And my response to that is
Mm.
what? I just want to play golf. I don't want to network on these
So
corridors of power. Let me just
a
play.
few
Can
things
I just
is
play golf? Do you understand
a
my
few
point?
things here. Yeah, I get you. A few things here. One, we don't have public golf facilities. Like, they're always attached to like all these high and mighty classy clubs in Lagos that have been here
Mm-hmm.
since pre-colonial times. So I know a bit about Ikoyi Club. It's not a place you just enter and say you want to play golf. It's a status symbol. Like they say, the day a poor man can afford to drink champagne, the rich man will not drink champagne anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's the status symbol at the end of the day. At the end of the day, it just shows that we don't have enough facilities for people to actually enjoy things in Lagos, and everything is packaged as luxury and wealth and yada 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 yada. Be as it may, as that last point you made, where oh, it's a connection thing. Jokes apart, it actually is at the end of the day. Funny enough, because
Ayo,
as you all know, business,
Ayo,
yeah,
I know, but I just
yeah,
want to play golf. I'm not looking for connection.
more
Can I just play
Osage,
golf?
Osage. This is a country we don't have enough green pitches. You're looking for golf again. You know, people are not. Yeah, you are going backwards. You are not get pitch first of all. You're not looking for golf. I don't know, but I think Ikeja golf. This thing is actually more accessible to everyday
Uh,
people. Sha.
let's ask what how do we come up with them, like the concept of luxury? It comes from
It comes from
from lack,
scarcity of resources.
Are you
or is
sure?
it
Or is it
of
just
scarcity of
concept
resources?
of
Exactly.
rich
No,
people?
if
Is it
something is
just
scarce in
concept
it,
of rich people come together and say we fuck with this shit, let's raise the price
yeah,
high,
it's
and
because it's
poor people can
scarce.
fuck
It's
with it?
because it's scarce. That's why only rich people can afford it now to build it and maintain
Okay, that's
it.
true,
Full
sure. Yeah,
stop. Yeah. So
yeah,
and Ikoyi Club is very, very interesting because I know that companies just go and just register the
yeah.
head of sales there just to play golf. Whether you
It's
say
not
you
even
play,
it's not
just
even
go,
the
my
golf that
brother.
even trips me, self. It's the polo stuff. I like that polo
The
one.
follow one,
That
Abi.
polo, the one you ride on your horse and you.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's some classic shit right there. That's some classic shit right there. Yeah,
yeah,
I fuck with that one.
yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
that's
Oh.
good.
Okay. Oh.
It's good. It's good. Yeah, how
Okay.
many
Oh.
hours have we done? Can we wrap this episode up?
It's close to
No, never
15.
tire.
Close
It's
to
not. It's
2
not.
hours now.
It's not
15
2
minutes
hours
more,
yet. It's 15 minutes more now.
or
15
17
minutes to
minutes
two
more
hours.
actually.
Okay, it's 2 hours
Ah,
that we signed on the contract.
What?
Because he said it's
guy,
15
you
minutes
don't
as if
start.
Why you
we must do 2 hours.
why you sounding like
He must do two
why you
hours.
sounding like a Yankee
Oh,
rapper that signed a 360 deal and is not scared? He's like,
Uh,
what? 10 albums? No, 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 no. I didn't plan to drop 10 albums.
that's
Sorry.
what Dev. That's what Dev Jam did to
if you want
Cross.
to hear the best
Shout out
Leo
to
Cohen
my
gist,
boss, Leo
just go and
Cohen.
listen to
You sign your life over.
I've
You're
got it
mad.
on
You dropped 10. Rick Ross. He
on Drink
dropped 10
Champs.
albums.
Got the best Leo Cohen gist. Yeah, he has not.
The
The problem
problem with
I've
I've,
got is that he remains I've got it. Like
the problem I've got is
he
that
has
he
not
talks.
changed. He has not
He
grown
says
like
things that should
before.
never be
Yeah,
said to the public. That's his
no, it
problem.
needs to be exactly. So exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he has not grown. He has not
he's
grown
one
to
of the
what it is
best
to be
storytellers
CEO
in
in
hip hop. Like in
2023.
terms
Yeah,
of like
he's still doing that
interviews,
90 shit.
him and
He's still doing that
Fazio.
New
Yeah,
York.
they're the
We are
best.
out here.
Leo
Oh,
Cohen breaks down. If Leo Cohen is gisting you something maybe about a
him,
meeting
Fat
that he
Joe
had
are like
with
best
Jay Z,
storytellers.
he will tell you. He will talk about the painting in the room that he just walked in. He saw a painting. He'll tell you about what was
I've got
playing on
it.
the
I've
radio
got
when he
it.
walked
Not
into a
Leo
meeting. Like
Cohen.
he knows that's how detailed he is when he's telling stories. He's a very interesting character. You know, he has 4 interviews on Dream Champs, all of them classics, classic episodes. Yep, yep.
Shout out to him. Shout out to him. All right. I wanted to ask, how often do young Nigerians do their annual checkup? Steve Ayo, when last did you do your annual checkup?
I did like 2 years ago. I missed last year's also, but I plan to do this year.
I did last year because the songs asked me. Okay, does Dio? It was Dio that asked me this question last year, and I just remember that this thing is in my HMO. Why am I not even using it? That last year was my first time. I did it.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. I think young men, especially when you hit your 30s,
Your body
have
doesn't body like as you used
yeah,
to.
yeah. And this is when you need to start doing like full checkups, right? So you can get ahead of some things, can notice what is going on. You know, one thing I noticed, someone was telling me, right? Person works close to insurance, health insurance company, that women sign up more to insurance than men. And that's because women, when they get to a certain age, they're very conscious about their body. They go to visit the doctor,
Mhm.
and all that. While men will just keep hustling until it's
So
too late.
yeah, you
It's
go and
not,
play football one day and you slump.
it's usually too late, you know. So if you're a young man, please, and you're in your 30s, most especially, okay, there are platforms, there's Beacon Health, a full service I won't call them a laboratory, but they have labs where they can do a full body checkup. You can check the costing on their website, Beacon Health, Beacon Health. This is not an ad, oh. This is a company that I know helps people with well, not help, but you can carry out your annual checkup there. Just wanted to put that out for us usually because we've talked about a lot of nonsense today. Let's put some useful stuff out for them as well. Okay. Do you guys want to keep going? I could keep going.
Oh. Is there anything remaining on the docket, please?
There is. We have to move it to next week because my eyes are half closed
Cool.
already.
All right, I beg, I beg.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're recording late into the night. It's currently 10 o'clock,
It's just past
and
10.
Yeah,
It's
it's
past
just
10.
past 10. But I think today was a long day for everybody.
It
Monday.
was a long day. Trust me, man.
That's why
We'll catch
that's
you
why I
guys
even
on
thought
next.
this
We
was
have
going
to
to
do a
be.
fan
So
mail. So
next
we
week then.
received so many fan mails.
Okay,
Next week is going to be the fan mail episode. But we have some topics
All
for
right.
carrying over.
We have to.
So
yes,
Steve
sir.
Ayo, please let me know when we're ready. You guys are you're acting like you didn't hear me. No wala. All right.
No, I didn't hear what you said. What did you say?
No, what did you
So
say?
we have to carry
I
over
didn't hear what
some
you
topics
said.
from this week.
Oh, yes. Now, okay.
Oh,
Fine. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us on another episode of your favorite podcast. Please don't forget to rate, review, like, share, send it somewhere. You have the link. You see when we put the link up, send it, forward it to somebody. Don't keep all this goodness to yourself. Thank you as you do so. Signing
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
Lunga,
Yeah, AOT2.
peace.
the lead researcher.